Sean Baker has been an indie favorite for years, but with Anora, he broke through to new audiences and massive critical recognition, resulting in a historic night at the Oscars.
And the Oscar goes to Anora, Sean Baker.
And if Anora is the culmination of all Baker has been working towards, then this one scene is the pinnacle of his abilities. This is the best scene in Anora. Anora follows a sex worker and her relationship with the son of a Russian oligarch. And in the home invasion scene, 3 employees of the wealthy family enter the house where Anora and Ivan have been living in order to end their romance.
It's a fraud marriage, and we're getting an annul ASAP.
No.
In that sequence that you're talking about, which was by far the hardest part of the film to shoot, but we did have a plan. We knew what the blocking was very specifically, and we wanted to shoot it in a way where it didn't feel like we weren't just shooting every angle. We shot it very specifically, almost so it could be edited very specifically from shot to shot.
It may feel spontaneous, but every decision made in the scene serves the core theme of the film, which Sean Baker describes.
I wanted this movie to explore different themes, and one of them is power and levels of power and power dynamics.
The scene, like the rest of the film, is also a tonal tightrope walk.
During this very, very stressful and tense section of the film, set piece, we also wanted to inject humor. So there was that constant balance of like, okay, well, danger, but then suddenly a laugh.
I'm glad I broke your f***ing nose.
You broke my nose!
Yeah, next time I'll kick you in the f***ing balls. God, let me go!
Let's take a look at how Baker and his team balanced this tone while intricately examining power dynamics throughout the 30-minute sequence.
She's a f***ing little girl. She beat you both up?
She's not fighting like one.
It all begins on the page. The scene is about power, and there is a clear hierarchy between these characters. Garnick and Igor are the first to arrive, and the power dynamics are immediately clear. Even though the 2 henchmen have come to reprimand him, it's Ivan who has the most power. They are subservient to his parents, and Ivan weaponizes this, knowing their threats are empty.
Ты будешь уволен, нахуй, стерт с лица земли, бля, сука!
But when Toros reveals that Ivan's parents are coming themselves, the power dynamic shifts. Even off screen, Ivan's parents exude power, prompting Ivan to run away. A reaction which also works to illustrate the stakes at play.
Get the f*** out of my way, motherfucker!
But you...
Do not f*** touch me!
No.
The henchman's limited power is the root of much of the comedy. They are unable to contain Anora, resulting in moments that border on slapstick. And yet, because they do have the potential to exert physical power on her, the danger is ever present. When Igor does finally restrain Anora, it's nerve-wracking and uncomfortable for the viewer. But consistently, just when things seem to be getting dark, comedy ensues as the befuddled men struggle to figure out what to do with her.
Блядь, она хуйнула в меня подсвечником. Давай ноги ей свяжем.
No, please.
Не
please,
будем
no.
мы ей ноги завязывать, отпусти ее.
Let me go, you f***. Oh, goddamn.
Братан, я тебе отвечаю.
These dynamics, along with various character relationships, are further underscored by the intricate blocking of the scene. For much of the scene, power is represented vertically. The person highest in the frame has the most, and the person lowest has the least. Here, Garnick is looking down at Igor to scold him, and Igor is above Anora, who is at her most powerless. This sequence, too, shows how the blocking works in concert with the anamorphic widescreen framing, allowing for action and characters to be spread out horizontally.
You are not going anywhere. Come back. Please come.
The scene then plays out largely with Anora on top of Igor, showing that although he's restraining her, she now has the power over him since he is in a compromised position. Once Toros arrives, Garnick takes a seat, establishing Toros as the most powerful figure in the room. Camera angle highlights the power dynamics. Initially, Anora is shot at a low angle, imbuing power in her framing. But later, she is shot at either neutral or high angles, visually reiterating that her power has largely evaporated.
I am Yvonne's f***ing wife!
Much of the scene thus far has been comprised of mostly static shots with limited or controlled camera movement. But upon Toros' entrance, much of the coverage becomes handheld.
Your home?
Yeah, my home.
This isn't Ivan's home. This is his father's house.
This underscores Toros' stature and state of mind. The camera has been handheld with him in the car, and now he is bringing a panicked energy into the house as well.
Can you f***ing tell this guy to untie me?
Yeah, she did this.
Hello?
Where's Ivan?
This subtle shift in cinematography is representative of Sean Baker's and DP Drew Daniels' approach to shooting the film.
There was one thing that I do with all my films that I try to figure out, is this an objective film or is this a subjective? And I feel like Sean's films tend to be more observational, and a lot of the films that I do tend to be quite subjective. So there was a balance, I think, with this one, because the movie's called Anora. I feel like on one hand you do want to be in her head, but at the same time the movie has such restraint in that regard.
I want to talk to Yvonne before agreeing to any of this.
Much of the coverage is in objective wide shots, and Baker is very selective when he cuts to a more subjective close-up. For example, in this shot, Baker lingers on Ivan for a beat, letting us enter his headspace as he makes the decision to leave.
Okay, bye!
Editing is used to manipulate the pacing of the sequence. Even though it is chaotic, the cuts are not quickly paced. Instead, Baker opts for controlled long shots, letting the performances and stunts breathe. Baker's editing also frequently allows for the 180-degree line to be crossed.
Let's just calm down for 1 second.
Even in the quieter moments, the audience remains subconsciously on edge.
Look at me.
When Toros is interrogating Anora, the 180 breaks make it feel like she's being attacked from every angle.
You don't understand. He shamed his family by marrying somebody like you. In fact, if you don't help me fix this, I'm gonna have you arrested. Yeah.
Sound, meanwhile, creates ebbs and flows in the chaos. There are moments of silence where the absurdity of the situation is allowed to sink in. Of course, the extensive use of overlapping dialogue is a quick way to heighten the chaotic feel of the scene.
We should call the police or something.
There's no music for the entire sequence, letting the dialogue drive the rhythm and mood, and allowing the tone to seamlessly transition between comedic and dark.
The floor, I tried to stop. You tried?
Hello?
You tried? You don't try. You just grabbed the guy. What do you mean you tried?
By the end of this single sequence, Sean Baker has introduced 3 central characters, established their dynamics between each other and with Anora, shifted between tense chaos and slapstick violence, delivered multiple key plot points like Ivan's disappearance and Anora's revelation that he might not come back.
He did not leave. He is going to get help.
I don't think so.
And developed the central theme of the film.
Once we find Ivan, which we will, and we get this thing annulled, which we will, you're gonna walk away with 10K fee and never ever contact Ivan again. Is that understood?
Fine.
If you're wondering how Sean Baker, an indie filmmaker with a budget of only $6 million, was able to tie the record for most Oscars in one night, all you need to do is watch this scene, where script, direction, and editing are working together at full force.
Crazy mother.
Inspired? Get started on your own Anora with StudioBinder's pre-production software, which includes everything from scheduling to storyboarding software. And if you have a scene you'd like us to cover in this series, leave us a comment.
I'm Vanya's wife.
Until next time, have the greatest day.